You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network. What up, everybody? This is Sonny, your LouddMouth of Comedy. I got something to share with you guys. You listening? Check it out. Sonny's LouddMouth Comedy Presents is coming to, what? Shooters Bar and Grill of Temecula. We're doing comedy and karaoke every third Wednesday live comedy event, right? We're doing open mic, feature comics, and we're topping it off with karaoke. Now, this is the best part. I need you to get your tickets. We're doing advance tickets and table reservations. We're not doing anything at the door, which means you need to get your tickets. And you need to go to where? LouddMouthComedy.com. That's LOUDDMOUTH, LouddMouthComedy.com, all together. Get your tickets. Tell the homies. You can get you some reservations for tables, seating. Also, listen, if you are a comic or maybe you do spoken word or you might sing or something like that, you want to take part in the open mic, I need you to go to LouddMouthComedy.com and get your opportunity to get registered and signed up for the open mic. It's limited spaces. Don't let me tell you I didn't tell you ahead of advance now. You got to do this in advance, right? And you need to be registered well in advance, okay? So you need to go to LouddMouthComedy.com. Uncontrollable laughter, great food, drinks, and a comfortable atmosphere. I can't wait to see you. Welcome to LouddMouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of LouddMouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms. San Jacinto, Temecula Valley areas, and throughout the Inland Empire. Are you looking to become a homeowner in 2024? Register today for the New Home and the New Year seminar hosted by Soul by Sonny. Let's get you from rental to homeowner in the new year. Get the latest insight of down payment assistance programs, whether you purchased a home before or purchasing for the first time. We want to make sure you're provided with the necessary information needed for you to buy your new home in 2024. Look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, I'm Hector Calvillo of J&H Automotive, located at 611 West Florida Avenue in Hemet, California. We are a full-service automotive repair shop where you can always expect to receive the highest quality repairs, fairest pricing, best customer service in the industry. My brother George and I grew up watching our dad work on classic cars as a backyard mechanic. His hard work ethic and dedication led us to opening up J&H Automotive in 2009. We started out with a 500 square foot repair shop, and we have consistently grown over the past 15 years to our new 10,000 square foot repair facility in the heart of Hemet. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Call 951-766-5999 to set an appointment for all your automotive service needs.
Hello, my name is Takasha Smith. I'm the owner of Takasha's Kitchen, based out of Menifee in the Southern California area. As a chef and caterer, I provide private cooking classes, couples dinners, and private parties. As a female pitmaster, I am able to create a personalized experience for your family reunion gatherings. I create menus based on my clients' needs to have a more personal vibe. You can find Takasha's Kitchen on all social media networks such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and my YouTube channel at Takasha's Kitchen. And that's spelled TACASHAS Kitchen, KITCHEN.
You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network. All right, we are live in LouddMouth Radio Studios, and today I got a very, very special guest. To my right, and those who are looking at us on social media, he's
over that way.
Right there, right? This is for the Love of Comedy podcast series, and I have a very, very, very crazy, incredibly talented comedian Mr. Brett As Is Miller. What's
Thank
up,
you,
bro?
thank you. How you doing?
I'm good. Finally, y'all, let me tell y'all, Snuffleupagus right here, man. This is our third attempt at getting into the studio, and finally we made it happen today.
Yeah.
Brett just wanted to make me sweat. That's all that was. I could tell.
I know. It's hard to get a hold of me. It's hard to track me down and get me to sit still.
Man, look. It was so serious. I was like, okay, Brett, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I done text him more than I text anybody. Brett, what you doing? How your day going, Brett? What's going on, Brett?
It's good.
So welcome to LouddMouth Radio, bro.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad. So for those of you guys that do not know, this gentleman is going to be one of the featured comics for our upcoming show next Wednesday at Shooters right here in Temecula. And him and Mr. Willis Turner and Kev Davis. The Marina Comedy is going to be hosting, and this is going to be a phenomenal show, guys. And so today, this is all about Brett. I need those who are listening to know who this man is behind the mic. And, I got a chance to embellish that moment of getting a formal introduction to Brett. Kevin had a show up at Wine Now in Rancho Cucamonga. Shouts out to Wine Now. Yeah. And Kevin, he was doing his thing, and this brother gets up on the mic. And when I tell you he had us in stitches, I was like, okay, bro, I see you.
Yeah.
I am glad to be here.
And you know what? Honestly, I wasn't even real happy with that set. I was like, I don't know. I didn't have my energy. I was kind of tired. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a bad set, but I know I could do better.
Right.
But I'm glad you enjoyed it, though.
We're always the hardest to critique ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We're always the hardest on ourselves. And so the main thing is that people find the enjoyment, they make the connection, and that's what counts. And that is the exact reason why we're here right now, because for those of you who may not have had an opportunity to hear this man in action, I suggest you to connect to him. I'm gonna tell you right now. So, Brett, what I want to do is give an opportunity to let's back up a little bit,
okay.
and I want you to share with us about where you're from, and let's kind of walk into your present day of coming into comedy.
Okay. So I'm from Riverside. Originally.
Okay. Riverside, California.
Riverside, California.
Word.
Grew up in High Grove, specifically in Riverside. Went to North High School, on the east side. Grew up with the Crips and the essays, and I learned a lot.
I'm sure you did.
I learned a lot about that lifestyle. And then, I got into construction and things of that nature. I've done every job under the sun. I mean, I even used to do bounty hunting back when I was like 18, 19.
I can see it.
Yeah, and I if there was an opportunity
Brett
for me
jumping
to do
out
something,
bushes and shit, trying to grab somebody.
Yeah, for real.
Hey.
Yeah, i.e. Ange. I got people jumping in here.
I love it, man. So bounty hunter, 18. That's young.
Yeah, I was young.
How did you even begin to think that was?
So I did a lot of security for like clubs and concerts and things of that nature, and he's like my older brother. He got me into it. Okay. And so then me and him started a little squad, and there
tag
was
teaming.
Yeah, and
nice.
We'd go out to L.A., San Diego. We'd just pick up these bonds and go and try to dog the bounty hunter. But I was a youngster. I was a kid. I was a baby.
I can believe it.
I was a baby.
Just a roughneck.
Yeah.
Brett been rough all his life. You can tell he ain't ran from nothing.
Nope.
No fear.
No, I don't.
No fear.
I don't run from much of anything. I'm not scared of really anything.
Yeah.
I like to live. I like my adrenaline going,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then when I was 29, 30-ish, my cousin, so follow this. So my cousin's roommate's mom was dating a comic producer.
Okay.
And then my cousin's
So you said my cousin's roommate's mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Riverside in the house. East side, baby. So, so he's like, dude, I think you could do comedy. You got to do it. You got to do it. So my cousin really was the initial push that got me to do comedy, and he took me out to meet this dude. The dude loved me, and he goes, all right, next month, I'll put you on my next show next month. I want you to do 7 minutes.
Damn.
And so I was like, okay. So for a month I was stressing. Why are you flipping me off? I don't give a fuck, And so so I was like stressing, writing stuff down. And the night before, he calls me. He goes, "Hey, we had a comic drop out. Can you do 12?" I'm like, I don't know if I could do 7. I'm tripping, right?
He threw you in.
Yeah. And then my mom, I was stressing, but I packed it out, like family, friends, coworkers. The place was packed.
Nice.
And because they either want to see you succeed or laugh at you bombing and falling
like
on your
hell.
face.
Right.
My boy Brett.
Either way, they're gonna be right there.
They're gonna be right there.
Front and center.
Gary, that's right. Rest in peace, Big Mike. There it is, right there. My boy, right there. So, So I get there and I'm stressing my mom. She's been my parents are good supporters. My dad was a blues musician. Okay. Well, he still is. So I'm not afraid to be on stage. I've been around it, you know. I used to play instruments and stuff. But
so you kind of came naturally.
Yeah, to an extent, but I wasn't as good as like my dad, and then my kids can play like anything. My gift was my mouth, you know, talking shit.
Right.
And growing up playing the dozens, I will make fun of your ass. Certified killer, thanks, Aunt. Hey, Thayer, whatever. Man, everyone flipping me off up in here.
Hey man, y'all leave Brett alone. He need to talk. Y'all just listen. Go ahead, Brett.
And so my mom's like, "Baby, just do what you do every night. You're out in the front, hanging out with your boys. You guys are drinking. They're in a circle. You're the one always telling the story. Just tell your story."
Right.
And so I get up on stage, and I just kind of, there was some made up jokes, but it wasn't really made up. It was stories about my life, and I just kind of went in, and then that's when I developed, like right then and there, like, okay, I'm a storyteller.
Right.
And I just started telling stories of my life. I ended up doing 27 minutes.
That
very first night. He's in the background going, "Just keep going. Just keep going."
Nice.
And then right after that, I get off stage.
How did the crowd take you?
It was good. It was good. It wasn't all great, but like first
you held
time,
on to
27 minutes.
That was strong.
Yeah.
Dang.
And,
so you did that set. Where were you? What part of town were you in?
We were in Corona at a place. I want to say it was Dempsey's. It was like an Irish bar.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I don't think it's still there.
Okay.
But right after I get off stage, these knuckleheads want some, and I had to put
you
the hurt.
You not have to knuckle up.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Right after, got off stage, and these dudes threw chairs at my mama, hit my buddy in the head with the bottle, busted my buddy's nose open with a pool stick, and so it went to
Christ. It went from
being funny to fighting.
Right. Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's not the first time. I was headlining a New Year's Eve show. I believe it was the New Year's Eve of 2016 to 2016 to 2017. Yeah. And I headlined it, did the countdown. Me and my boy Aunt G were in the cafe bar area of it, and here come these knuckleheads tripping. It was a bunch of people, and next thing you know, we're having a squabble right then and there, and then cops come, take me to jail. Yeah.
Dang.
But
not
charges
New Year's.
Yeah. Charges got dropped and everything. It was all self-defense. Everything was fine. But no, I don't know. It's like a Brett show, man. People love, my mom says,
the conflict.
"Don't worry about them. Do your shit, bro." Oh, I will. Thank you. "Your mouth is your gift. Overheard at the menagerie." Oh, thanks, Chris. Whatever, man. They're just talking.
That's good. So look, Brett, stay focused with me.
Yeah.
Y'all pay attention. Y'all keep rah-rahing them, but just keep going. So then once you had an opportunity after the show, and you said that that broke into something crazy, and so you got arrested from that event. But beyond that, it's pretty much, I think because a part of your bit is so raw, it's so real, and like you said in your beginning, your introduction, that you've had experiences dealing with gang members, people that you grew up with, and different walks of life, and so when you've had that kind of experience and you're truthful in your stance, it can make people react. You know what I'm saying? So like right now, I think what's happening right now, I'm starting to see a lot of the political conversations, and comics don't run from anything.
Yeah.
We're primarily those truth tellers. We're those people that will go there.
Yeah.
Right? Unapologetically. And so when you do that, it can drum up a room's, energy to go in different directions. So I think right now is extremely high intensity on the political scene, right? So even for comics, I was reading something the other day. Oh, Jerry Seinfeld. He's in Australia.
Oh, okay.
And he's been heckled, significantly.
Really?
So, anti-Israel, blah, blah. This has been real crazy for Jerry. You're talking about Jerry Seinfeld, right? And I think he's had more than one show where he's really have had to kind of go in and they've had to take people out of the show.
Really?
Right now. This has happened in the last couple months. So that just goes to show you that a lot of times things that are going on in the society.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Things that we talk about, sometimes things touch and hit people and they get sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, so for you, how long have you been doing comedy?
So this November will be 11 years.
11 years.
11 years, yeah.
So for you, that intro, you opened up out the gate. So how long did you end up working with that producer more?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually put me on my first handful of shows.
Okay.
He gave me my first shot at the exactly. He gave me my first shot at the Improv, you know, and that was my third show. And I used to say, like, I just want to do it enough to get to the Improv. Once I do the Improv, I'm done. And I did the Improv and I killed it. And I was like, I ain't done.
Right. That was just for your first level of where you were
Yeah.
working to achieve. So is there somewhere you haven't performed at yet that you would like to perform?
I mean, maybe stuff out of state,
Okay.
different comedy clubs out of state.
Okay. So have you done pretty much all of the major ones in LA?
I've done all the major ones. Yeah, again, that goes back to Big Mike, man. Shout out to Big Mike, rest in peace. That dude was the Dr. Dre to my Eminem. If there was a club that he had a show on, he was headlining me.
Word.
And he loved my stuff, like my set, right? And it was kind of, because I get controversial, you know, because of how I grew up. I don't,
Correct.
you know, and me being a white dude, you know, and so he'd headline me at like the Comedy Union, the J Spot, the Family Room, the Living Room, you know, Maverick Flats, like
a lot of urban spaces.
a lot of the urban stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, dude, this white dude's headlining at the Family Room. What the fuck? The Living Room.
But
you
that's
know?
your comfort space.
I would absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't have any.
That
worry.
kind of that's your edge.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And so I think for a comic to be able to learn what makes them, what drives them, or what's their edge,
Yeah.
it puts you in another dimension, and it allows you to be able to perform at that level, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it opens you up to where you can actually participate in various spaces.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, because it's easy to be in your comfortable space.
Yeah.
The challenge is to do things that you're not supposed to do or not supposed to be able to achieve.
Yeah. Me walking into a room that's like middle-aged or older, like white people, that's not comfortable for me.
How funny. It's because of your relation. You can't relate to certain elements.
Yeah, my stories, not everyone relates to. And if they didn't.
Brett over here with the Hood Chronicles, y'all.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
for real.
He being straight up.
For real. I'm not playing. Like,
Yeah.
And so I could read the audience and I do well in those rooms. Like, you know, I have jokes for every room, you know, and I don't, the thing is I figure out how to bring them into my world.
Correct.
Once I get them into my world, then I don't care where I'm at. It doesn't matter. But like some of my stuff is edgy and you would think people would call me racist, but I've only been called racist by, guess what?
No.
A white person.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I've never been called racist by blacks or Mexicans for any of my jokes ever.
That's crazy.
I had this white lady wanting to hit me with a bottle. She was sitting front row. She stood up. I said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "You're racist. I'm going to hit you with this bottle." And this group of black ladies in the back, they were like, "He ain't being racist, bitch. He being funny." You know?
And the room checked her.
Yeah, the room checked her. Yeah,
That's crazy.
and it was good. And then she ended up getting kicked out because she wouldn't stop. You know, so, hey, my son's in here. Shout out to my son. Yeah, I'm a thug for realsies. Brothers is. Shout out to my son, dude. He's up there fighting those fires, protecting our force and evacuating
What's your son's
people.
name?
Brett Jared Jr.
What's up, Brett Jared
Yeah,
Jr.?
that's my boy.
Brett, number two.
Numero dos. Well, he's actually the third. My dad is Brett also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my youngest, he's doing his thing. He's in the Marines. And
How many kids do you have?
I've raised 8.
Well, damn, Brett.
I've raised 8. Thanks,
Brett's
Ange.
been busy.
Yeah, but I have two sons that are mine, you
Okay.
know, that are my blood. But I got my daughter Erica and Jesse. Roxy, Andrew, Nason, Jerry. You know, I've raised these kids at least for a significant amount of their life. You know, 5,
Okay.
6, 7 years. Erica is 29. I've been in her and her brother's life since they were 10 and 8.
Oh, wow.
She has 3 beautiful kids. I'm grandpa to them too, you know,
Nice.
and I don't, Because my thing is just because you and oh no,
It's okay.
did it stop? Oh, someone was trying to call me. I almost fucked up my live feed. You and someone may not work out, but it's not the kid's fault,
Right.
True,
True
so
that.
I always try to be a good representation of what a parent and father and man should be. So
Good. I love it. For you, Brett, with at this point in time for you, what is comedy? What would you like for comedy to be for you right now? At this point for you,
I would love to. I would love to make money. I mean, if I were to be successful and make a ton of money on it, like, of course, that'd be amazing. But if not, it is what it is,
So you pretty much pattern right now. You would say that you're doing comedy part time. It's not a full time. You straddling.
I straddle, yeah, because
Okay.
I kind of do have this conflict between the two sides of me.
Mm-hmm.
I got the city side, but I also got the country side, and I really, because I love being outside. I love fishing and hunting and camping. I got animals. I got geese, ducks, chickens, goats, sheep. Like, I love that. I used to have a 70-acre. Yeah, there was a lag. Should I restart? Here, I'll restart. Okay.
Oh yeah. So
But yeah, so
don't call right now, guys. We're on the air.
So it was a freaking it was a creditor.
They call too. We don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So for you, you're straddling it, and I know like construction is a big part of your gig.
Yeah.
So with this has got to definitely be comic relief. In that side of the dimension of your life. So if you could have it your way, it would be a full-time run.
Oh yeah. If I could have it my way, I would do comedy full time.
Okay.
I would enjoy it. I'd absolutely love it. If not, it is what it is. You can't always keep going against the grain.
Right.
But I've been really giving it hell. I do go in my ups and downs. Like I apologize, but I do lag a lot on social media. I'm just busy with life. I like to live life. I thoroughly enjoy comedy. But yeah, there's a part of me that, because I have had it to where I was doing comedy full time, comedy acting, but there's such a big part of me there's such a big part of me that I'd sit at home all day, right? Because I'm waiting for shows at night, this and that. I'm not a guy that can sit still. And if I ain't doing something with my hands,
productive,
I feel useless. So like, even if I do comedy, I'm still going to do some kind of construction. Like now, if I had, let's say I was making millions doing comedy, I don't need to do construction, but best believe I'd still be building my own house.
Correct.
I'd have to. I feel that as me personally, as a man, I need to be doing something.
Yeah, that's the output. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand it.
You know,
productivity.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So what's your feeling about the comedy scene right now? How do you feel about it? Because you've been in it over a decade now. So have you seen some transitional change?
I've seen a ton of change.
Okay.
I would
good, bad, and different.
All of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, because it was getting bad for a couple years, like since 2020. I mean, this cancel culture, this woke stuff, all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Comics couldn't say anything, and I think that's stupid. We're the first and last lines of our freedom of speech. It's an art form. You can't put a limit to what I paint with my words.
Right.
And I hated that, and that's why I never stopped saying what I say.
Right.
But people would hate me for it. But now you have these bigger cats like Shane Gillis. He's really destroying a lot of that woke stuff. He's saying all those words that people don't think we should say, but he's funny, and these are all jokes. What's up, Gil? That's my MTL homie. That's right, top shelf. Let's go. So it was kind of getting into a little. I was getting worried for comedy because people were just bowing down and. Well, I'm not going to do this.
Crumbling under the pressure.
Just crumbling. It's like, you got to think that just because the media is showing you 2% of the country and what they feel, you can't stop doing what you do because there's a whole other
you'll
fan base.
You'll lose your authenticity by doing that, and it compromises you in such a way that is almost like how you said that experience you had where you felt like you didn't give it your best.
Yeah,
it'll feel like that. You'll start living in that kind of bubble, and that's not what you're doing. You know, and so you have to. It's consciousness from one perspective, but most times when we're talking about things like that, it's because we want to bring awareness, education, make it be, sensible to make people think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you don't evoke that, then it's going to be hard to bring that about, right? If you do not put that into, into your performance. So for you, who are some of your favorite comics?
Lenny Bruce.
Past and present.
Yeah. Lenny Bruce was, he was doing stuff back when TV was black and white. George Carlson had opened up for him. I think he's the godfather that founded the way for us to he's the reason we could say fuck on stage.
Right.
He got banned from Sydney, Australia because he came out and said, how the fuck are you? And they kicked him out.
Damn.
And so he's really revolutionized it and his take on things. I mean, he was going against the media agenda back when it wasn't, not everyone was doing it, he'd get on stage and he'd pull out 5 different newspaper articles from different publishers and talking about the same crime, and everyone was different. So it's like, who are you marketing towards, but Lenny Bruce. My other favorite though, I mean, more modern would be Eddie Murphy. I loved Raw and Delirious like that. I grew up on that. And looking back, until I did comedy, I didn't realize how much comedy was in my life already.
I can see that. I understand that.
My uncles would watch, my dad, my uncles, my mom, they'd watch all the comedy movies from back in the day. The Caddyshacks, the National Lampoons, that stuff. And then they were watching Delirious and Raw. And I remember these things. But it wasn't until I was doing comedy that I'm like, wow, you know what? I've always been around comedy.
Can I tell you, it's so funny you said that. And the one thing I think I never really thought about to say, is when you say you've been around comedy all your life, and I'm always quick to measurably state in space that Carol Burnett, Carol Burnett show, because I love sketch and improv and stand up. Benny, I used to watch the Benny Hill shows, In Living Color.
Oh, In Living Colors.
Yeah, so like those were my shows that I catch. But the comics, like, they go from end to end. But then when you just said that, I was like, you know what? My very first real level everyday comedy experience was my mother. My mother's humor, her personality itself is like always lit. So when you find yourself surrounded about personality types that are just like my mother's humor is just her straight way of talking and talking in cliches, and so you never know till you really look at how much impression is around you.
Absolutely.
You're impressioned by a lot of things. You might have teachers or friends that you grew up with that made you, that may have made it easy for you. As you say, we say doing the dozens and talking about your mama and all those other, a lot of that happened while we were in school, as kids. So you learn how to have tough skin. You know what I'm saying? You had to learn how to have tough skin, just being able to come back when your friends are trying to come at you. Who you seeing now?
It's just all these people, they're saying all kinds of random shit. And they're saying,
Brett, focus. Stay on me. Stay on me. Y'all listen. Brett is ADD. I do not need you all to take him away from the interview. Please tell him to keep your eyes right here.
And they're all
they gonna keep talking.
They're all saying, "Don't laugh. Stop laughing."
Yeah.
Stop
so they looking at you. They trying to kick you in.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing and look, tell everybody, come Wednesday, get your tickets, LouddMouth Comedy, and y'all can come see Brett do his thing. So everybody that's on his IG right now, I need y'all to come support your boy. Come out there. I don't know if most of everybody's here in the area, but Brett's gonna be doing his thing on stage.
Yeah.
So for you, Brett, when you look at where things are now, I know you said COVID kind of took a L. Where do you feel like comedy is now? We're 4 years after COVID. What do you feel like where we are as an industry?
I think, I think it's actually it's getting back to what it used to be, as strong as it used to be. I think we got a lot of heavy hitters that are coming up that really have learned how to. I hate you guys so much. That really have learned how to like go outside of this box that we've been put in over the last handful of years.
Okay.
So I think it's getting better. I think it's going to get even better. I mean, comedy is such like a huge thing.
You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.
Like I said, growing up, I saw a lot of comedy. I used to go to improvs like every weekend just to watch comics in my 20s.
Right.
But it wasn't always. I love y'all too. It wasn't always in everyone else's life. Like I wouldn't be at high school and everyone's talking about a comic.
Right.
Now everyone's talking about comics. Everyone's talking about Matt Rife and all these guys, Shane Gillis, Joe Rogan, Kill Tony. It's like comedy's like
exploded. It's in the culture.
People know comedy like they know
society.
Rappers or musicians now, and they're doing a ton of stuff. And I think it's grown now. That does suck. I don't like you. So that does suck though, being that it's kind of it gets to the point where it's oversaturated.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to say get paid very well because someone could call you and be like, yo, I got this spot in LA, 15 minutes, $20. Like I ain't going to LA on a weekday for $20. Like,
wow.
Oh, well, someone else will do it for free. Well, then ask that lame ass mofo. I don't need that. So it
waters it down.
It does because everyone now is a comic or a rapper or an actress
jumping in
But I do still,
even from the production side and the promotion side, you want to maintain a level of professionalism that does not take away from the industry. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. And I think right now is more important that the craft is continue to try to keep a bar, because now I think because of social media, it just is giving everybody a mic. It's giving everybody a camera. So now you got people who are just jumping in, they do one set and then they call themselves a comic.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I saw it recently and I was like,
And then they changed their name to comedian blah 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 or whatever,
Right.
And I got friends that have their name as comedian whatever, and I ain't dogging them, but they've been doing this for 10, 20, 30 years. If you went to your first open mic and you did 5 minutes and then you change your name on Facebook to comedian Brett as is, like shut up. Shut up, bro. I didn't like even my Brett as is thing, like that was an accident.
I was going to ask you, so tell me how you got that name.
So, oh God, dang it, you guys. Jesus.
We got him for a few minutes, y'all. Just hold tight. Don't distract them too much more. I need him for a few more minutes, y'all.
So what happened was when Facebook first came out, I get on, and, it's back when it was just on computers, like it wasn't on your phone. It wasn't apps and all this.
Right.
I get online and I go to start a profile on Facebook and it says, put in your first name. Well, my first name is Brett. Now, growing up, I went by Jared. That was my middle name.
Okay.
But it said, put in your first name. So I put in Brett, your last name Miller. Well, so I started an account, Brett Miller. Well, my dad started an account, Brett Miller. So what happened, and this is years before I even did comedy.
Okay. Yeah.
So then what happened was I'd get messages from my dad's friends. He'd get messages from my friends.
That's happening to Willis because he's named after his dad.
Exactly.
Yes.
So just by chance, I changed Brett Miller to Brett as is. Mm-hmm. I don't know, 5 years go by or whatever. And next thing you know, I get booked on that show and dude's making the flyer and he sees my name on Facebook as Brett as is. So he just puts Brett as is on the flyer.
Ah.
And that's how it happens. So then I'm like, well, as is, it's like as is. Like there's no changing it. You you bought a car as is. You got to take it as is, right?
Right. I get that.
And so I was like, how am I going to make this part of my character? So then it became, it's as is, take it as is. Like, so and then that kind of made me, that made me go a little more towards the raw side, like the blue side. But it worked for all my stories. Yeah. And so that's where the as is came from. And it was a complete accident. So I didn't give myself a nickname.
Okay.
Brett Mills, him, not her. Who's Brett?
Word.
Shut
So
up.
then you ended up holding on to it, and it just stuck. And I get it.
I've had producers a couple times in comics tell me to change it. Like, that's stupid. That's a nickname. You got a strong comic name, Brett Miller. I've had comics tell me, this is when I first started, you got to stop talking about Riverside and East Side and the Crips. No one knows that. And I said, no one knew what Compton was either. You know, like, why are you going to limit me? This is my story, and I'm going to tell it how I want.
But Nipsey put...
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, I'm not going to stop. So then I went even harder. Now everything is as is. Everything I do is raw. Then everything I do is talking about gangs and the hood and how. So then it just became like this whole like, fuck you, I'm going to go against what everyone's telling me to do.
Right.
And then next thing you know, I'm doing tours across the country, signed to a hip hop label.
What was your biggest show? You say you signed to it. We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your biggest show?
The only part of the story that sucks, John, is the fact that you're my cousin. You suck, dude.
John.
So the improvs are always usually packed out. You know, they hold 300 people or so. So I went to the Gathering of the Juggalos. With
what?
I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's a bunch of some crazy shit. 3 days of crazy shit.
What?
Like, they gave us golf carts because we were performers. So we're driving around golf carts in this giant campground with lakes and multiple stages. It's like
Where
a
was
3-day event. It was in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I mean, people sleeping in their cars waiting for this shit to start. Like,
Right.
it's wild.
Right.
But it was started by ICP. They're those white rappers from Detroit that have their face painted and all that, like
Okay.
clowns. So
Okay.
Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
So there was like 20,000 people there. And
Wow.
I didn't necessarily perform in front of all 20,000. I got to be a hype man for my homeboy JP on a side stage.
Okay.
But my homeboy, Insane Poetry, Psycho, he had a song with Vanilla Ice. So I'm sitting there watching my homie rap with Vanilla Ice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy to me. And
Vanilla Ice converted to construction.
he converted to construction.
He sure did.
So that show was dope, but I've done a couple shows for like some benefit stuff. I did some Teamster Union fundraisers.
Okay.
You know, there's like 700, 800, 900 people at those things, you know. So
Correct.
I've done some shows like that size.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been good. It's been good with that stuff. Yeah.
So what would you tell comics that are coming into the industry now?
Don't do comedy.
Word.
No. I mean,
You heard it from Brett.
no, what I tell people has been advice I've gotten from people, from different people. My man Rick Rome, Big Mike, rest in peace. My boy Cooley, shout out to Cooley. That man gave me some advice I took that advice. He saw me again 3 months later. He goes, "You're an entirely different comic. Like, you listen to everything I said, you know."
And took it.
Took it. So some of that advice is find your voice.
Right.
No
I've
matter
heard
what,
that,
you know, you got to figure out, are you going to base your stuff off of like made up jokes? Like, you know,
Right.
Are you going to base it off real life? Are you going to be blue? Are you going to be clean? Are you going to be a one-liner? You know, find what your shtick is. Are you
Right.
going to develop a character for on stage or just be yourself? You know, are you going to mix in different elements of your life?
Right.
But find your voice, who you are. You're so dumb. And, no matter what you do, I don't care how edgy the joke is, whether it's racial, sexual, political, religious, whatever you're going to do, you got to commit.
Yeah.
You can't, if you're going to go up there and do a borderline racial joke, you better stand up there and commit to that. Because
Right.
if you stutter step, you
messed it up.
messed it up, the crowd's going to eat you up.
Yeah.
So
And you're
like,
going to lose them.
You're going to lose them, and then you're going to get called racist.
Right.
You know, now if you go
Because
up there,
you didn't have the confidence of the delivery of
you
the
have
fullness.
to have the confidence.
You have to be totally in. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
And-
absolutely
and
right.
Also, figure out what your negative vices are. Okay, like I like to drink, right? I can drink before I go on stage. I try not to get too drunk, but there's been times. Exactly, never fold, own it. That's right. But like me, I can't smoke weed before I perform. Because I'm a very high energy person,
Right.
and I'm a very high energy comic. So if I smoke weed, like my whole set, like I'm quiet, like, which then means
it
that
takes you the
my
opposite way.
commitment to these jokes isn't full because that's not how I tell it.
Right.
And so like you got to figure out what's good and bad for you as a comedian.
Correct.
And then find your voice. Find your voice, stick to it, find your stick, and try not to get too cliquey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've had my circle of friends, obviously, within comedy.
Right.
But we never like started a crew.
Right.
You know,
right.
When you do that, you shut yourself off from other people.
True.
I've had certain cliques not get along, and then one of them wants me to be in their stuff and do stuff, and then the other one, I'm like,
all this
but
opposition.
Now, yeah, and I'm like, trust me, y'all don't really want opposition because I'm gonna give it to you, you know, and
right.
I'm not trying to lose someone that's gonna book me because they think I'm friends with someone that they don't like.
Right.
You know, so
right. Then it gets all politically goofy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not.
So I think at this point in time, you know, Brett, I know I got you coming to do your thing on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let people know how they can follow you, social media.
So I'm on Facebook, Brett Miller, Brett As Is. I have a couple of accounts. There's a Brett As Is account. There's a Brett Miller account. Mm-hmm. There's a Brett As Is fan page. I mean, obviously, I don't really get on that as often. The Brett Miller account was my original account. That used to be Brett As Is, and then Facebook decided they needed to use my legal name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they did kind of go into that.
It was weird.
Yeah.
And then I had a secondary account, another Brett As Is account, because I pop off at the mouth and get kicked off Facebook often.
Right.
And so I had a secondary account, but that one they never changed. So that's Brett As Is. There's Brett Miller. Instagram, obviously, Brett As Is, all one word, BRETTASIS. I'm on Snapchat, Brett As Is. I mean, basically.
Are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok. I've been lagging. I got tons of clips. I just don't post. I just been like, because I was always that guy. I mean, I had a decent following and stuff, and I was always that guy. I'd be at shows and my camera's out and I'm recording, and I'm like, man, just stop, just live in the moment, you know. And I'm more old school.
And it's hard to do that.
It is because this is part of your job.
It is, and it's constant, and so you juggle. And even for me, I've had to really step it up. I just really got active on TikTok this year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's just the unavoidable parts of things that you have to do, but you want to be able to get people to connect to you. So we have to do those things, right?
Yeah.
So you got your TikTok page, and so do you have a website?
No, but if you go on Grim Reality's website, there's a link towards for every artist that's on the label, and like there's merchandise there. I haven't really been pushing a lot of merchandise through there, so because I've been working on some new stuff that's probably not going to be sold through the label. Okay. So I got some stuff going on with that, and then but if you were to Google Brett As Is, like it'll pop up. I mean, I will legit pop up, and I don't know if I did it that night, but I have a rap battle skit that
okay. And is it on YouTube?
I know it's on Facebook. My son helped me write it when he was 12.
No.
And there's a video of me and him when he was 12 on stage doing it together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so, but at one point in time, because I referenced Tupac so much pertaining to that freestyle, because I go off of the Tupac Hit 'Em Up song.
Right.
And so at one point in time, if you Googled Brett As Is, there would be pictures of me and then Tupac. And I was like...
Because you know what? That's right. That first night I saw you, I don't know why Jazzy Jeff... I don't know, because I remember I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, yo, you remember the cat last night, the other night? You know, like Jazzy Jeff, like... Or Tupac. It was some. I remember you talking about a rapper.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, why did I keep saying Jazzy Jeff? But it was Tupac you kept referencing.
Yeah,
I don't even know why I was
Jeff.
like Jazzy Jeff. I don't know where that came from. But I didn't even know you had the music element in there. So that's so funny.
Yeah.
So
I actually got in it was 2016, I believe it was. Queen Lou, shout out. Lou Productions out in San Bernardino, amazing woman. She put on an Inland Empire Music Awards at the Orange Show, right? And I got an award for all the work I've done in the hip hop community.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I love hip hop. I love hip hop. I love music, you know. But and so I used to produce the hip hop shows and stuff, and help book some of the tours that I go on with the label and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I can see that, man. Brett, I want to thank you. We're gonna wrap it up. I just want to give you a moment of gratitude for
thank you.
Coming in today, doing this session. I'm looking forward to Wednesday. That's gonna be an awesome show.
It is.
And for those of you who have not had the pleasure of seeing Brett as is, Willis Turner, Kevin Davis, this is gonna be a powerhouse night. Tickets are moving very well. We do have reserved seating. Actually, very few tables reserved seating at all available. So, LouddMouthComedy.com. Make sure y'all follow Brett.
LouddMouth Comedy too, guys. LouddMouth Comedy on Instagram. It's 2 Ds. LOUDD.
Yeah.
Mouth.
Make LouddMouth.
LouddMouth.
No space.
No space.
So you can get your tickets on LouddMouthComedy.com. I'm telling you right now, come see this guy ruin and take the stage down. He's gonna punch it out. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having the time to come in today, bro.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, y'all. We're gonna conclude today's episode. Make sure you guys follow this gentleman, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I look forward to hearing more about your journey, bro.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, and all you guys, when I leave here, I'm going to get back on live so I can talk shit back to all of you. You understand?
Yeah, because I'm letting them go. I'm letting them go, guys. What up, everybody? This is Sonny, your Loudmouth of Comedy. I got something to share with you guys. You listening? Check it out. Sonny's Loudmouth Comedy Presents is coming to, what? Shooters Bar and Grill of Temecula. We're doing comedy and karaoke every third Wednesday live comedy event, right? We're doing open mic, feature comics, and we're topping it off with karaoke. Now, this is the best part. I need you to get your tickets. We're doing advance tickets and table reservations. We're not doing anything at the door, which means you need to get your tickets. And you need to go to where? LouddMouthComedy.com. That's LOUDDMOUTH. LouddMouthComedy.com. All together. Get your tickets. Tell the homies. You can get you some reservations for tables, seating. Also, listen, if you are a comic or maybe you do spoken word or you might sing or something like that, you want to take part in an open mic, I need you to go to LouddMouthComedy.com and get your opportunity to get registered and signed up for the open mic. It's limited spaces. Don't let me tell you I didn't tell you ahead of advance now. You gotta do this in advance, right? And you need to be registered well in advance, okay? So you need to go to LouddMouthComedy.com. Uncontrollable laughter, great food, drinks, and a comfortable atmosphere. I can't wait to see ya.